Hey YouTube, Gordon Miller here. Thought I'd go live, and I'm here in my backyard. I've got no tripod. I'm just enjoying a cigar here at the end of a Saturday. So thought I would actually, rather than continuing to do a sort of endless Q&A, I thought I'd pick a topic and then continue to discuss that. So. The topic of today's video is one that I've been talking about for a while, and it has to do with the nature of relationships, whether those are business or personal relationships. It doesn't matter. It's still all about the same thing, and it's important to be able to build rapport, which is, how quickly and how closely you can build a relationship with somebody else. So I've seen a lot of people on Quora complain about the fact that they don't have a boyfriend or don't have a girlfriend or things like that. And then, they'll ask another question about, hey, I want to start my own business. And it's like, I tell you what, and it has nothing to do with, the fact that you have or don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend, but it has more to do with the fact that, if you're unable to build a rapport sufficient with somebody to be able to initiate a relationship, then it's going to be very difficult for you to do that in business. Business and personal relationships are very closely tied to one another. And so the biggest problem that I see is that people actually don't bother to invest the time and energy in learning how to build high quality relationships with either people that they want to do work with, like in business, or people that they want to have a relationship with. Everybody's all into, hi, I'm good looking, you're good looking, let's go have sex, and that approach tends to spill over into their business lives as well. And so the most important thing you can do really is to learn how to build high quality relationships, whether that's great friendships. I have literally hundreds of friends that I really do enjoy, that they are high quality people that add real value to my life, and I enjoy them. I have 259 or 269,000 followers now, almost 270,000. So on Quora, and I wish everybody from Quora would come here, but that way I wouldn't have to worry about Quora anymore. But so, for me, if you aren't able to build a decent personal relationship, you don't have any hope of eventually building the kind of high quality business relationship that you need to be successful. So, and a lot of that comes out in the pitches and pitch decks and things like that. Of course you have to have a really great pitch deck, but the reality is that you can have a kind of a so-so pitch deck, but if you really kind of build rapport with your audience and kind of connect with the investors, then you're going to be much more successful. So if you're not able to do that, then you're just not going to. It just is the way it is. So, I'm sorry that, that's kind of, it's a skill that most people don't have, and it's a skill that most people need to acquire. But it's necessary. That's also, it also spills over into the fact that if you are in business and you don't have decent personal relationships, your lack of decent personal relationships, like having somebody in your life, or being married or having a family or things like that, will impact, typically adversely affect, if you don't, your business relationships. And so you can work 2 or 3 times as hard as somebody who has a family or has a wife or has a steady girlfriend, and still not do as well, because you haven't mastered what it takes to build actual high quality relationships. So, and people talk about, oh, well, I'm not that attractive, I'm just, women hate me. It's because you haven't learned how to sell. You haven't learned how to sell yourself. You haven't learned how to sell anything else. If you can't sell yourself to somebody of the opposite sex, then you're never going to be able to sell your product or your business or whatever else it is to anybody else. You're not going to end up with sales, and you're not going to end up with people who want to buy your product and things like that. So it's all tied. It's all related in terms of what it takes to build your personal brand, your company brand, and your ability to build relationships. I am very lucky. I have literally thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers, and I have hundreds of really close friends, and I would say probably close to 1,000 people that I've according to LinkedIn, I have about 8,000 people I've built a business relationship with. I would say about 3,000 or 4,000 of those are really solid. So for me, it's a good example of kind of what what this game is all about. And the great thing about being in the game as long as I have, almost 30 years now. So I started in 1993. So in November, this will be our 27th year. So, the great thing about being in the game almost 30 years is that, people continue to advance in their careers, and you keep track of them and you keep track of all those people. And that's really the key to your success. Your success isn't the people you meet when you're 20 or 30 or 40. Your success is the people that you meet when you're 50 or 60 or 70 that you've known since you were in your 20s and 30s and 40s. So it's a necessary part of that. That's why we see that kind of network. And of course, the key phrase that everybody's familiar with is your network is your net worth, and that is exactly true. I mean, I rely on my network every day, and in building value in the stuff that we do, and I'm a huge believer in that. I believe in it strongly. So, the most important thing that you can do if you want to be successful in business is to focus on building your personal relationships first. And that's putting yourself out there. It's like, getting off your Xbox and getting off your ass and going out. And it's not just about going to a club and trying to pick up women or anything else like that from a guy's standpoint, but it's about interacting in a social setting with people and learning to build those social skills, learning to build those soft people skills. Those skills are critical for being able to do what you want to do. And, people underestimate the value of things like that. So, but I think it's really critical, that everybody really put the effort forward and, focus on building good relationships. And your ability to build good personal relationships will carry over into your ability to have decent business relationships. So anyway, we only have a few people joining us, which is fine because this wasn't an advertised session. Instead of just recording my video and posting it, I figured I'd go live. So let's see, we had questions. Do you think school still teach the SI? What's the SI? Does school still teach the SI? What is the SI? As far as school, I don't think school teaches many of the skills that you need to be successful. Soft skills. Yeah, of course. And I mean, no, I don't think school teaches soft skills at all. The problem is that, if you went to a large school with, let's say, 1,000 people in high school, or you go to a small school where there's like 150 people in your graduating class, you have a very different experience. So your ability to build relationships is vastly different. Now, you may have really good connections in that 150 people and things like that. So they may be good for business relationships down the line, but it just depends. So, but I think schools are horrible at teaching soft skills. That's something you have to develop on your own. But anyway, in the book that I'm working on right now, and the great thing is that I got a new editor that wanted to work with me, and she's amazing. She's already actually working on compiling the various pieces from my answers on Quora, and we're pulling all that stuff together, and it's coming together really nicely. So I'm really impressed by her dedication to the opportunity and to the work that she's already done, in terms of researching the answers and starting to rank and order them in terms of the benefits and things like that. So, but the idea here is that we're going to combine the best of my advice on business and the best of my advice on relationships, and we're going to start to draw some connections between the two, like this video, that begin to help inform the process that most books and most videos don't really address. And that's really just how critical it is to have a great personal set of skills in building personal relationships in order to be able to be extremely successful in business. And so it's one of the things my father was really good at, and it's one of the things that I picked up from him. I'm very grateful for all the friends that I have, and it's about building your network, and it's about having the right opportunity. So, but anyway, I appreciate you guys joining me. This really was kind of an impromptu thing. I'm just kind of out here on the back porch, enjoying my cigar. I got another hour to go. I got no tripod, so my arms are killing me. Sorry for the shaky video, but wanted to address this point and hope that it's useful for folks. Please comment if you like. I'll be glad to answer the comments. And again, you guys have a great weekend. Thanks.